Keeping your own identity in a serious relationship advice in general. Don't be blinded by the red flag. Dating, virginity / first time. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my little Vlogmas series. Today I'm so excited because I'm doing one of my most highly requested videos, which are these little girl talk, drive with me type videos that I like to do. I'm excited to do one today. I'm in my cozy little sweatshirt and a little like matching set, and I'm just ready to chat with you guys. So I asked you guys to ask me on my Instagram story what questions you want me to answer, like in particular about like different, like, I don't know, like girl talk type of things. Ooh, this lighting is really nice. I feel like I should get in the passenger seat, right? My car is the worst place to film. I always use somebody else's car, but no one else's car is available. Should I just get in the passenger seat? I'm doing it. Ugh. Is that good? So like I said before, I asked you guys to ask me specific questions that you guys want me to answer on my Instagram story, and I kind of just want to, you know, be your big sister, give you some advice. You know how this stuff goes already. So I'm gonna pull up the questions and we're just gonna get right into it. I'm just gonna go down to the very first one and we'll just start answering them. This first one's actually a really good one. It says, keeping your own identity in a serious relationship. You seem to balance it so well. First of all, thank you. Honestly, I feel like I do balance it really well now. It took me literally like 7 years to get to this point. It really did take us up until like the past year or so to like really find a good balance. So if you are in a serious relationship but like you're only a few years in, like don't feel discouraged if you're having difficulty finding that balance, because it's such a unique thing, like being with somebody for so long and like growing up with them and also like becoming your own person while also in a serious relationship like so young. I feel like it's such a unique experience. I've said this once before, but I think it is the most important thing to have your own hobbies separate from each other. Like, I think it's great if you guys have similarities and you guys like doing the same things. I feel like it's so important to have some hobbies separate from each other, because if you have literally nothing that you guys like doing like separate from each other, then you're just gonna be together 24/7 and you guys are just gonna morph into like the same person. It's really healthy to have time away from each other and to be doing different things, so that way when you come together at the end of the day and you're like talking about your day, you both have like interesting things to add, to bring to the table and like start conversations, and like, which I know is easier said than done. It's not that easy to just like pick up a hobby and like you want to like do it with somebody, so it's just easier to like do stuff with your significant other. But in my opinion, when I was first dating Sam, obviously hated doing anything alone, so like anything I wanted to go and try, whether it was like going to the gym or literally whatever, like I would make him come with me and be like, let's do this together. And once I started YouTube and like posting on social media, and I really love making content, which like I obviously do alone most of the time, I really realized how much happier, and I felt like just more of a person. I felt like I had a purpose, because I felt like my own self. Like I wasn't just so-and-so's girlfriend, I was like myself. That's a really great thing and it feels amazing. So that's my advice. I would just really try to find your own hobbies that you can go and do without that person and like enjoy it, like enjoy the time away from them, because I was way too codependent at one point in my relationship, and now I feel so much more balanced. I like to go, you know, have my me time where I'm either filming or editing. So good to have your own things, basically, at the end of the day. So yeah, that was my little rant about that. Someone said dating, virginity / first time. So in terms of dating and like losing your virginity and stuff like that, my best advice would be to really just be as picky as you possibly can. You have to be so picky with who you're gonna be spending all your time with and who you want to fully commit to. And you don't want your first time of literally anything to be with somebody who you're gonna like look back and be like, wow, like I wish I saved those special moments. First, at least somebody who has pure intentions, who is good to you, is deserving of you, you know? So I would just say to be as picky as you can. Go on as many dates as you want. I think dating is a great thing to like go and like see what you do like, see what you don't like. But if you're gonna really settle down and like commit to somebody and like decide to do things with somebody, you should make sure that they're just a good person and that they're not gonna, you know, the red flag. So don't be blinded by the red flag. If you see something you don't like, don't continue dating that person, because you deserve what you deserve and you shouldn't get anything less than than you deserve. Someone said relationship advice in general, and I think the best relationship advice would be, obviously communication is key, like to all. So you always have to make sure you're communicating how you're feeling, and like seeing how the other person responds to your communication is also important. Like if you're telling your partner you don't like something and they are like kind of just ignoring that and still doing it, obviously that's no good. So I feel like the key things that like make a relationship last is like having good communications on both sides, and like you're both working together as a team. Like instead of against each other, you're working together against the problem instead of you guys going against each other as people. You need to like make sure you have that like solid foundation first, and both have that mindset of like, okay, like we are going to work on whatever comes about together, and we're just gonna work through it instead of just like giving up really easy. Another important factor in a relationship, I feel like, is to have self-confidence, because confidence can really affect even just the little problems that you have. Because if you're confident in yourself, you're not going to be projecting any of your insecurities onto your partner, and you're not going to be, you know, super jealous and just creating issues that don't need to happen. Because obviously if you are deciding to trust this person in the relationship, you have to give them that trust, and you can't create little problems just based off your insecurities. Like of course, if your partner is doing something that like warrants you to pick a fight at them or like tell them, you know, I don't like what you're doing, then obviously that. But I'm saying, like, let's say your partner has done nothing to break your trust, is fully committed to you, but if you aren't confident in yourself, you're obviously gonna have some insecurities, and you're gonna get jealous over small little things, which will start a fight, and then your partner is gonna be confused because he or she never gave you any reason to not trust them. That's just like how issues form, I feel like, on either party. I feel like this is interesting to talk about. Someone said, talk about your struggles in college. It's so real. I'm literally drowning in my third year. So one thing I feel like people tend to forget about me is that I did go to college. I graduated college already. I was going to school to become a speech pathologist, which I got my degree in that. I would have to go to like a few more years of graduate school to actually get my license to do it. Long story short, I just wasn't that passionate about it, and I was super passionate about social media and stuff, so I chose that route instead. But I did go through all of that, so I definitely understand where you're coming from, and I definitely get that college can be a lot, really a lot. I just want to say to just keep pushing, because once you're on the other side of it, you're gonna look back and like be really proud of yourself. Number one, it's also gonna teach you so many things that you don't expect it to teach you. Like it really did teach me to have a good work ethic. Once you are actually doing a job that you love, that work ethic that you like had to do in school is gonna come out, and it's gonna make you such a better worker. I know it feels so hard right now, but you just have to keep pushing and try your very best. My biggest tip would just be keep your end goal in mind and let that motivate you to keep going. This one says social anxiety advice. This past year, I've challenged my social anxiety more than like I ever have in my entire life. I think I've talked about this before, but I am so proud of myself thinking of where I was in the beginning of this year to where I am now. I feel like I've gotten so much better with my social anxiety. Like I'm still not perfect, like at all. Like I still have so much to work through, but like just any amount of progress is obviously such a good thing and like something to celebrate. And I feel like the biggest thing that helped me just continuously push myself out of my comfort zone and continuously make myself go and do things that made me anxious and not hide from them, because that's what I did in the past. Like I would fully avoid any situation that would make me anxious, and I would fully make excuses for why I couldn't go to different things because of my anxiety. But this year, from the beginning of the year, I literally said to myself, no, I'm going to say yes to literally everything. I'm just gonna say yes, and I'm gonna push myself, and I'm gonna do it. And it has gotten me so far in terms of meeting friends, in terms of my career, where like sometimes you have to go and like you have to do certain things because you know it's gonna better your career. You have to go meet people because you know those connections are gonna help you in the future. So like it is important to go and be social. There's so many aspects of life where being social, you have to, like, you know what I mean? So I'm really happy that I took those steps, because it's almost like exposure therapy, if you've ever heard of that. Like if you're afraid to do something, the more you do it, you're gonna be less afraid of it, because you're gonna go, you're gonna see, oh wow, like that really wasn't that bad. Like now the next time I have to do this, I'm gonna have a little bit more confidence to like be like, okay, it's gonna be good like the last time. Like that's kind of how all these events have been for me. Like every single time I get invited to one of these things, I have no idea what I'm walking into, and that gives me anxiety. Like that's something that triggers my anxiety, because I like to be prepared. I like to know who's gonna be there. I like like to know who I'm gonna have to talk to. I like to know what questions they're gonna ask me so that way I can prepare what I'm gonna say. Like, I'm crazy like that. But I kept pushing myself to say yes to every single one, because every time I would go, I would either meet somebody amazing, meet somebody that I, you know, looked up to for years. I would get so many more opportunities after going to them. Like, it has been so amazing for me. I also made so many new friends just from going to events. Like, it has just changed my life. That's basically how I was able to overcome some of my social anxiety. I still get it every single time, but like, it's better. And I feel like a lot more confident in myself than I used to. The more you do it, the easier it'll get. Someone said how to get over the struggle of caring what other people think about you. So I feel like everybody cares what people think about them. Like, as much as they say that they don't care, there's obviously a little part of you that does care. I know, at least for me, the thing that really gets me the most is like when I think that somebody thinks something of me that's incorrect, if that makes sense. Like, I really don't care what people think about me. Like, let's say I don't care anymore if people think that my social media is cringy, or like, or if they think that my outfit is bad. Like, I don't care about that stuff, because if I'm doing something that makes me happy, I literally don't care what you think about it, and it has nothing to do with you, so I don't care. But the times where I do find myself caring what other people think is when I think that they are thinking something incorrect about me. Whether that's like a rumor, or whether that's like somebody making an assumption off of like a video of mine, or having somebody tell a story not the way that it actually happened. Like, that's what annoys me a little bit, which is also something you can't really control, and there's always going to be people who think things of you that are not true. But what's helped me is to just breathe and just be like, you know yourself. The people you most care about know you. They know the true you. And that really should be all that matters, because somebody who's gonna make an assumption about you, or like think something about you that is just so blatantly not correct, clearly has no idea who you are. Clearly don't even know you, even in the slightest, because if they did, they wouldn't be thinking those things. You know what I mean? So why would you care what somebody who doesn't know you thinks about you? You have to like protect your peace. You know what I mean? That's like kind of how you have to change your mindset and be like, that's funny that you think that, but that's not true. And it's like, fine, if you want to think that, you can think that, but like, you don't know the truth, and you never will, because you don't know me. Now you don't get to know me. You know what I mean? That's like kind of how I like to think of it. This next one says, having no friends. You're talking to the right person, because for the second half of this year, I had like no friends. The only friend I had was Becca. We were always just, you know, like this. Since we met, I'm so grateful for her, because we kind of were going through it together. We just like had a tough time finding a group of girlfriends that we vibed with and that we loved, and that was kind of similar to us. Like, we don't like to go out, we don't like to party, we don't like to like do most things that most 22-year-old girls like to do. So like, it was kind of hard to find people that were similar to us to like hang out with all the time. Sorry, my camera stopped and I had to move my car, so I'm back in the driver's seat. Like I was saying, I was getting to something important. There was a huge chunk of my life where I was very upset about not having a group of friends and, you know, just not finding the people. I always thought like, wow, like everybody else had such an easier time of finding their group of people, and like, why was it hard for me? And like Becca too, we were in the exact same situation. I was like, why did we have such a hard time? Like, we're nice girls, we don't like problems. It took me a very long time to change my mindset on it. I just started thinking of it in a completely different way. Like, I was like, maybe my group of people, I just haven't met them yet. You still have the rest of your life to live, and you still have so many people that you're gonna meet in your lifetime. So why are you stressing that like you don't have anybody right now? That's not permanent. Nothing in life is permanent. And you're gonna live your life, and you're going to meet so many amazing people, and the people that are meant to be in your life, you are gonna meet them at the time that you are meant to meet them, because everything happens for a reason. And maybe you're just not ready yet. Maybe those people weren't placed in your life yet because you're just not ready for them. And maybe in 6 months from now, you're gonna be in a completely different headspace, a completely different part of your life where you are gonna be ready, and you're gonna run into these people, and it's all gonna make sense, because that's exactly what happened to me. I just wish I could tell myself that back then, because it really was just so insane. The moment I stopped being upset and like looking for friendships is when the real ones came into my life. And I really do owe a lot to social media too, because it really does help you find people that are exactly like you and like similar to you, that like live relatively close to you. And it's so easy to just like meet people and go hang out in like a safe environment and see if you guys vibe. Like, I'm telling you, do not worry about it, because you have not met even a fraction of the people that you're gonna meet in your lifetime, and you will find your people. So yeah, it is literally about to be completely dark out, so I feel like think I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love just chatting with you guys, hopefully helping you in any way. I don't really think I give the best advice because sometimes I'm like, I need this advice for myself. But if it does help you in any little way, I'm so happy. And it was like my main goal out of all of this. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, I love you. Bye.